Alright everybody, we're back at it again with HWH, once again. So now it's September 21st, and I feel like that we're going to have to do some marathoning here. Because in this case, we have ourselves what seems to be another pretty good set from the Hot Ones collection. It's a good way to relive some old nostalgia in a similar regard as to how certain other sets have since been remade or recolored. We do have some sets that have now come back just as well, sporting an older Hot Wheels logo, and of course, revitalizing some of the same old sets that we'd seen before. Lots of designs, simply remade for a new generation of collectors and hobbyists alike. It's also worth mentioning that I have gotten a hold of a bunch of new models just as well. Not just original Hot Wheels models, both fantasy and realistic, but a couple of the Racerverse models as well. You'll definitely want to check these out at some point in this video, because what we got here is something that is worth putting together into its own video entirely. But I am going to continue this, just like I have done with a few other episodes. Over time, we'll be seeing more varieties of cars be put on the Hot Ones Crash Frenzy Speedway. Now this can fit up to 2 cars at a time, so what we're going to do here is this will be a standard tournament in which that will wiggle all of this down into one last racer. So without further ado, we'll get started by unboxing the Crash Frenzy Speedway, assembling it, and getting to see the cars themselves. And here we are. This is the set itself, finished. And I gotta say, it does look pretty nice. The unique fiery combination of red, orange, and yellow just screams nostalgia in its own right. Of course, you do have yourself an included banner with the Hot Wheels Hot Ones logo plastered on it. It's not exactly sent as a sticker set, which is helpful. Also, I really want to talk a bit about this starter. Yeah, that's basically how you prime it. By pulling this lever down, it kind of saves joint strength. And that way, you can basically launch with ease, like that. Also, that's a pretty unique sound it makes when launched. Could be the way that the spring system is put together. Of course, this set is going to send 2 cars flying around in a 360 loop on both sides until they come down, where they crash together, as illustrated by this nice molding. And then of course, even though it's not a checkered flag, you still get yourself a little spinner at the end. Not to mention, this does show compatibility with the modern day Track Builder system. Not exactly like Track Builder Unlimited that we've been doing up until this point, but still. It's nice that they do allow for the Hot Ones sets to be backwards compatible with most modern day tracks. So that way, we're gonna set all these guys up and ready to roll. Now, even though the sets did come with 2 cars in its own, we aren't gonna be using those for today. Instead, we're gonna be focusing on all these guys here. And the first ones to go through will of course be a couple new 2025 models. Hilarity will go in the left lane, and the right lane will go to this model here, basically a Ford Escort Rally. So, let's see how it does. Oh! Well, looks like Hilarity just flew right off, while the Ford Escort Rally made it through the finish line. So, unfortunately, sorry, you're disqualified. Yeah, that can be where disqualified players will go, whereas we'll send the Ford Escort back to the start because, after all, moved on to the next round. Next we got Steve from Minecraft riding a pig. Yeah, pretty unique. And he'll be paired up against Hot Wings. Yeah, basically a little hot sauce bottle on wheels, which is pretty unique, I will say. Oh! Well, there you go. This is a perfect example of what the set was catering to. The unique display of destruction that we just saw right there. Oh, well, looks like Hot Wings was pushed off, leading Steve to move on to the next round. Now we got ourselves two more newer models here. We have the custom Kia EV6, otherwise known as the Kia Wind, as I would refer to it, and the Renault E-Space F1, basically a more minivan version of the Renault. Oh, looks like the E-Space was a little too heavy. So we're gonna have to move on. And now we're gonna move on to a Magic 8 ball, otherwise known as, let's see, Decidedly Go. Yeah. It's kind of interesting to see the Magic 8 ball out there on the track. Gone Mad will be racing against him. Well, it was a bit close, but Decidedly Go has decided to take the win there. For our next pairing, we're going to go with the Maserati Shamal. Kind of a nice name. And we have Judy Hopps from Zootopia. Kind of interesting that she came out last year, but yet we're supposed to be getting a sequel this November. Oh, okay, looks like Shamal takes the win there. Well, I guess the only thing that we can expect for Judy is, let's see how Zootopia 2 performs. But until then, we're going to focus on our next pairing, the McLaren W1 and the Lotus Cortina. One car is pretty powerful, one is not so much. Woo, close again. But it does seem like Lotus didn't win this time. Now, this might not work so well, but how does a motorcycle do in this whole feat? We have ourselves a new Honda, and it'll be going off against the Ford Model A Custom. It kind of reminds me of Baja Bone Shaker by design, just with a little less Baja flair. Okay. Okay, DNF. Try this again. Well, at least the Honda is staying within the track, but we're gonna have to move on if they don't make it this time. Okay, well, that's basically it. 2 fails in a row. Let's hope the next pairing does better. We have the Hamaru GTC, which is a pretty nice little model here. I especially am a fan of this color scheme, as well as the Cupra E-Racer. Let's see who wins. Does electricity take on the style? I guess not today. I guess that could be explained because the Cupra does have a splitter as well as side skirts or side fenders, meaning the Hamaru GTC is who takes the win for today. 2 more pairings to go with 4 cars total. We got ourselves a Diora lookalike known as Twin Dorado. Yeah. It really does look like Diora. Yeah. And the Chicken Jockey? Oh man. Hope you guys checked out my short on it. And Go. Oh, man. Wow. Seriously, who was willing to see Chicken Jockey take the win? Well, I guess that didn't happen. It's kind of like in the movie when he lost. Except this time, it's a Hot Wheels model. Yeah, that was pretty interesting, but we're going to have to move on to our final pairing, the Peugeot 9X8 hypercar. Kind of one of the first instances I ever heard of Peugeot designing a supercar. And of course, Street Shrieker, which kind of looks like Snake Oiler for a new generation. Oh, well, there goes the Peugeot. So, excellent job, Street Shrieker. Time for you to move on. Well, looks like we have ourselves our first contenders here. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, looks like we're going to have to get a 10th racer. If only it wasn't for the Model A and the Honda motorbike getting fails, then, well, maybe we would have all 10 as originally expected. So, I guess we'll pick a random one. Okay, Hot Wings it is. So, now we have our 10. So, after some adjustments and all that, we're clear to depart for our second round here. So, Hot Wings will get the chance to once again, hopefully, take the lead and move on to the third round. So let's get started. And, well, even though Hot Wings looked great, didn't perform great. So, Amaru moves on again. Now we once again have the Ford Escort and Steve on the Pig. Okay, a little delayed press there, so let's try that again. Well, Steve moves on here. Now we have ourselves Magic 8 and the Kia Wind going against each other in this round, which I feel like is going to be great here. I mean, we have an excellent EV versus a Magic 8 ball. Looks like the Kia slowed down to a crawl, meaning Decidedly Go gets to move on, along with Steve and Amaru. For our fourth pairing, we're going to go ahead and bring in the McLaren W1 and the Maserati Shamal. Close race. But it does seem Maserati was hoping to take the lead. And as we move on to our last pairing here with Street Shrieker and Twin Dorado, let's just see how well it goes. Even though Street Shrieker did good the first time, just didn't compete against Twin Dorado. And now we have our 5 contestants, but once again, this won't quite fit the criteria that we're looking for. We'll need 6 in order to have basically 3 pairings here. So once again, let's get a random pick situated. Bam. Here we go. Gone mad. We'll be going up against the other 5 contestants. So let's go ahead and get our sights set on for the third round, leading up to the finals. Go. Oh, well, almost had another crash take place. But that's okay. Because now we're going to move on to the second pairing, which of course will be about the Maserati and Decidedly Go. Go. Oh man, Shamal got rejected by the finish line. So, looks like we have Decidedly Go and Amaru GC going at it for the finals. Now, normally what will happen is, well, I would just eliminate one of these two here, but it seems like we're going to end up with 3 regardless of what happens. So, we'll instead just include them both in this instance. Since Decidedly Go came right here as a surprise, if he wins this one, then both he and Twin Dorado will go. Well, I guess not. Oh well. Decidedly Go, we'll just come along with anyways. We have our 4 finalists here, and that way we can now make 2 winners out of these pairings here. So, Twin Dorado and Decidedly Go. Seems like Decidedly Go really is magic. I mean, keeps on passing every race. So, sorry, Twin Dorado, but you're out of here. Our super finalists, of course, is going to come down to whomever wins this second pairing. Is it going to be Decidedly Go or Amaru GTC? Well, okay. Looks like we have our finalists here. We'll make this a best of 3. Decidedly Go or Gone Mad. Whomever gets 3 wins will win today's competition. And go. Well, double fail. Because Decidedly Go flew off the track and Gone Mad flipped over. Much better. So, Decidedly Go secures 1 win, while Gone Mad has not. Well, 2 out of 3. Can I take the win? Or is it Gone Mad that I'll try to step up? And there you go. We got a little lucky though. So, 1 and 2 we have. If Decidedly Go wins this round, then well, he passes. And, well, there you have it. Looks like Gone Mad put up a great effort coming back after being runner-up, only to fall second in line 2, Decidedly Go. Excellent job today. And with that takes care of this piece. But just for the record, this won't be the only video you'll see of this set. In fact, I might have a few good ideas as to what I can use for future episodes of HWH. And I think one will show up just tomorrow, as well as the next 2 days. So, if you'd like to see more on the channel, then stay tuned for the next few episodes of HWH, and of course, well, the 5-finger commitment, if you know what I'm saying.